Meet the Breath Masters. The Breath Source is the only app where you will find the greatest breathwork facilitators from around the world in one place. Our extensive, truly unique database of breathwork videos and live classes created by our Breath Masters offers you the opportunity to learn breathwork with the best teachers in the universe. Dive into our app and become a student today.
Hello, Breath Tribe. Travis Steffens here, CEO and founder of the Breath Source, now known as Source. Here with Simon Yang, the founder and CEO of probably one of the coolest products that I've seen out in a long time, the Oxa Band. I'm sure you've seen it if you've been on our channel or on the app, and I feel like they're growing like crazy. And so the Oxa Band is many different wearables, but it's worn as a band under the chest, or there's different shirts just for the comfort level of it. And guys, I have had tons of stuff sent to us to test out, but the Oxa Band with the Oxa app is truly amazing. And I've reached some transcendental states in breathwork with this band, breathing to the sound of my own voice, which is so unique and so amazing. So I just want to turn that over on that note to Simon. Simon, welcome to the Breath Source, and thank you for being a big part of our world, my friend.
Hi, Travis. Yeah, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe I can introduce myself. You want
Would
me
love
to do that? All right. So I'm actually not the CEO, but I'm leading the product team in Oxa, very close to the CEO. So my story with Oxa. So I do not come from a very usual background. I actually had no background in engineering, IT, or I was not either into breathing at that time. I used to be a climate scientist, so I used to work with data. And essentially, I came into contact with this product. So Vincent, the CEO, gave me an early prototype of the shirt, essentially, for a weekend. And yeah, it was crazy to me. Like, I had this really granular data. I could drink a coffee and look at how my heart was being altered. And I started noticing that my heart rate was going up and down when I was breathing in and breathing out, and things started to sort of click, and so I was first investing in the company, and then I joined as a member of the team. And today I am the head of the product team. So I lead the design and the vision, the strategy for the product, and also develop the content with my content team. And yeah, so that has led me here today, and I'm very happy to share with you and hear about how you've been using Oxa. Actually, I've been using Source as well. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for that. So soon we'll have Oxa, or actually we have Oxa on Source right now. So if you go to Source and you go to the partnership section, you're going to see Oxa in the partnership section. And what's fun about that is that we're going to have breathwork sessions in there, hosted by their top breathwork providers and some of our top breathwork providers, such as Breath Church. And they're going to be hosting the ability to wear the device, whether it's a shirt, a band, whatever it is, and be able to follow along and have breath practices with that. So Simon asked how I've been utilizing it. So I've been getting up in the morning and I have my morning rituals, and then I have a moving meditation, and then I go down, stretch, and then I go into my breath work, which leads to meditation. And so I've been putting the Oxa Band on right away, and then I've been using that to get into a coherence, because that's the first part of my breath work. And so once I get into a coherence, I do a Nadi Shodhana with fairly long breath holds between my Nadi Shodhana holds. And that causes the heart rate to spike a little bit, and then we're coming back down. And so what's fun to see with Oxa that's different from other tools is Oxa is so sensitive on whether you're breathing or not. So it's watching that, number one. Number two, it's counting how long you're holding. So you guys have programs in there where you can go into an exhale hold, and it counts how long your exhale holds are. So I think that's really valuable for us to know, because as most breathwork people make the mistake is they want to get into longer and longer holds. So they put this timer up there, and it ends up making your hold less because you get into the mind. And as soon as you get into the mind, your hold is going to be less. And so then I put the Oxa on the 1 hour monitoring and I go into my breath session. And so then I'm able to come out of my breath session, and oftentimes I'll go into breath of fire that will lead it into a DMT alkaline breathing, and then I'll end with a soma. And I can see what all of my biological functions did, heart rate variability, heart rate, when the calmness went up or went down based on coherence and all those things throughout the process. And so you can see that when you're holding an exhale hold, the body's super calming down, the heart rate's going down into the low 40s. And then when you hold that inhale hold, it's compressing the heart and it's raising the heart rate up. And then all of a sudden, all of your vitals elevate up. And you get to see how breath so incredibly and easily affects the body. And so you've built this device to be so sensitive that any breathing allows it to coordinate with the phone. So I'll stop there and see what your thoughts are on that, Simon.
Yeah, that's really one of our, let's say, the unfair advantage we have is, well, first the breathing, right? We really, so there's a little elastic band, right, that stretches, and when that stretches, it changes the property of the material, and that's how we essentially measure the expansion of the rib cage, and that is done, I think, 30 times per second. So it's very precise. There's no lag, so it's instantaneous. For the heart rate, we actually measure the ECG. So that's sort of, for those who don't know, when you watch a movie and somebody dies, this sort of this beeping on the screen. So that's actually the electric current that your heart is generating. And from that, we get the heart rate, meaning that we actually get the heart rate beat to beat. So there's really, you cannot get more, let's say, more resolution than that. And what that enables us to do essentially is provide you with instant feedback for your breathing session. What that means is that you're really able to see the effects of whatever you're doing. It can be like, for example, me, I'm just giving an example. I realized using Oxa that if I try to relax my hands, my heart rate will drop. Just the way I rationalize it is because to relax my hand, I need to relax my whole body somehow. But this type of things you can't really do with a smartwatch. So this provides you it removes the blindfold, and you can actually get better at your practice. You have some tangible, let's say, things to improve upon. So that's one thing, and we're just scratching the surface of that. So there's a lot of developments in the pipeline, but surprise, surprise. Maybe in a few months we'll be able, for example, to detect if you're doing chest breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, things like this. So there's a lot of possibilities open here. The other thing, you were talking about breath holds and let's say this, the fact that it detects when you're coming out of a hold. So this is something we wanted to have as a vision of product. We want something that's interactive and that enables you to do an entire practice without being really disturbed. So when you have those max breath hold, if you have to set timers, it gets a little bit annoying. So in that case, it just does it for you, skips to the next section. But finally, the last thing maybe I want to mention, and it's one thing that is not often, let's say, discussed, but for people like me, it's very difficult to sit down for 10, 20, 30 minutes and do a breathing practice or meditation. And I have to say, so the way we try to do it is that it's also, let's say, it's also fun. You have audio biofeedback, so you don't necessarily have to look at the screen. You breathe, it interacts with you, and it makes it entertaining, while still being useful for your practice. So yeah, my practice is a bit less intense than yours, I think, but I'll use it every day in my commutes and at work to disengage as well, and actually to fall asleep. That's my primary use.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. And just to show what's going on here, so I'm going to unpause this here. And so when I exhale, guys, you see a drop. And when I inhale, you see it's rising.
I think you would have to scroll down to the data, maybe.
So it's doing it. It's growing and shrinking with my breathing right now. And then we also have data over here that's real time data. And then we also have another set of data over here that's real time data. And that's you get your breaths per minute, which is a big one, guys, because people are over breathing now in a massive amount. So I was just breathing rather rapidly to show you guys how it's breathing in and out. But the 5.5 breaths per minute, 6 breaths per minute is the optimal breathing rate. And we're breathing 16 to 18 times a minute. So we're breathing 300% too much. And oxidative stress on the body is a real thing. And when we breathe too much, it's not just oxidative stress. You're then into the sympathetic nervous system stress. And so Oxa is a great way to make you very conscious of how you're breathing all day, every day. It's something you can pay attention to all day, every day. And like Simon says, they have a lot of exercises in there. They've got the 4-4 coherence breath. They've got box breathing. They have triangle breathing. They've got all kinds of cool exercises that you can stop, have a 1-minute reset, a 3-minute reset, and some really cool things. So what's your thoughts on that, Simon?
Yeah, I was wearing Oxa but doing your exercises this morning, so
Nice.
that was cool. That was cool actually. I like the lots of breath holds. I like that very much. Yeah, we have a lot of exercises. So we have essentially split them, and more is coming. Actually, there's a big update coming, but we've split them in several categories. So there's the exercises that are more on the calming side of things. So you have the resonance breathing exercises, also the extended exhale exercises, like say 4-9, for example. And then we have on the other side of the coin, let's say more breath restraints exercises into flavors. So we have the sort of Buteyko style, we call it minimal breathing. So you have actually this interactive bubble with a score, and every time you need to breathe as little as possible. And every time you take an inhale, your score sort of diminishes, and if you don't, it increases, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of those. And then we have this what we call power breathing, which is cyclic hyperventilation, which probably most of you know here. These are the main categories of exercises, and then in there we have a few bonus exercises such as physiological sigh, for example, that was or sniff sniff poo, other people call it this way, that we included recently based on some the papers that came out from Huberman's group showing the effectiveness of this practice for calming down. We have other cool things as well, like katana breathing. I love very much. We also have a few let's say, less breath-oriented practices, but more mindfulness-oriented practices, such as body scan or a gratitude practice, for example. But the content is being updated often, and actually, we have a significant update coming soon.
Nice.
A few weeks. Yeah.
That's awesome. So this is the one that he was just talking about, guys, and I did this actually this morning. So one of my practices is breathing in for 30 seconds and breathing out for 30 seconds. So this is a breathing score. So the slower I breathe, the higher the score gets. The faster I breathe, the slower the score gets. So what it's teaching people to do is the power of breathing slow and low, because we don't need as much oxygen as we think we need. We need a better balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So Oxa has pulled that together in a device, and I just think it's brilliant, man. Great job with that, Simon.
No, thanks very much. Yeah, it's a cool. I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I think it's a cool product. Of course, we're still starting out, so there's a lot of things coming. We've been talking about the breathing side of things, but we have this whole other, let's say, a field of development for sleep, for example, which is a big one. So there's definitely I would say there's three main use cases for Oxa. There's, at least we see that in the usage from users. There's clearly, well, sleep is our major one. This seems to be really a problem for people. So almost retained users, for example, are the one that use Oxa to fall asleep. We have those that use that for their breathing practice, like daily exercises and things like this. And then we have the data freaks, and they just monitor themselves all day, all night, without necessarily performing exercises. So yeah.
Yeah, it's great, man. So this is a great tool, whether you're a coach coaching somebody into breath work, whether you're a life coach coaching somebody into how to have a better life. I would highly recommend recommending this to your clients. This is a game changer in the breath industry. And it's not just a game changer in the breath work industry, it's a game changer in the health and wellness industry because everything starts with breath. It's the first thing we do when we enter the planet, it's the last thing we do when we leave. And it's finally time that we learn the power of the breath. It's been swept under the rug for way too long. So I'm really grateful for Oxa partner on the Breath Source app. And thank you for sending these out to us, Simon. And thank you for
Of
being
course.
part of the family. And you can go on to the app, and Wendy's dropped a 20% code in here. And while we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to say, Simon?
Maybe, so you were talking about breathing coaches. So we actually, if you contact us and you're a breathing coach and you would like to be an affiliate, we actually have what's called the Oxa Lab. So what it enables you to do is to follow your coachee. So those that use Oxa, and you would be able to see on your desktop, all of their data, all of their practices. So the idea there was to really empower coaches with the ability to follow their trainees.
That's a game changer, guys. Think about that. You'd be able to see when your client is spinning out, and you'd be able to call them and say, "Hey, what's going on? I just noticed that you're having a tough time." That's a game changer. Beautiful. Awesome, Simon. Well, again, my friend, thank you so much. And we love you here at the Breast Source, and we're going to keep taking this product out to the world. And I know I'll keep using it myself as well. So thank you for your magic you're bringing to the planet.
Absolutely, thank you. And I'll be using Breath Source for the rest of the week for sure. I really enjoyed the app.
Awesome.
So
We love having you in the family, man. So, all right, till next time, guys, go on the app, check out Oxa, call Oxa if you're a coach, and let's get rolling. Let's get this out to the world. All right, take care of everybody. All the best.
take
Thank
care.
you. See you, Simon.
Bye, everyone.